Happy Wednesday morning, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. We got a big one tonight in Columbia, Tennessee, South Carolina. Last night, I broke down the game, I previewed it, looked back at it a little bit, kind of alluded to, gave a teaser as to where I'm going with some of my keys to victory tonight. But we'll get fully into that because last night on my cover, I had Vescovy, I had James, I had Adu. And I said that my main thing I talked about with those guys was, and I said that it was in 2020. It was, give or take a month before the world was shut down for COVID. Vescovy had just enrolled as a freshman mid-year, had taken over pretty much immediately, became the point guard for this team. Josiah Jordan James, five-star freshman out of Charleston. And, I thought Vescovy did some okay, decent things that night. James, same. But it was, they were freshmen as well. Tennessee lost that game that night to a South Carolina team I didn't think was that great. But, that was what I'm leaving there. I wasn't happy about numerous things. But if you're Vescovy and you're James, you started out your freshman year. You went up to South Carolina, you lost a tough one. Tomorrow night is your final true road game in the Southeastern Conference. Vescovy, if I'm not mistaken, his first true road game. James, one of his first in conference. They get to go out. They have that opportunity for them tomorrow night. Show up and play like you're capable of playing. Do your thing. You don't have to score 20 points or anything. What I need to see out of those guys tomorrow night, be the fifth-year seniors. Be the guys that you were against Alabama the other night. Not so much against Auburn. Guys against Alabama. Making those plays, making those defensive plays. Vescovy's effort on the defensive end of the night was awesome. Numerous steals on it. James, big on the rebounds, big on the boards. You look at that Auburn game, even though those two guys weren't great at the end, James with some big blocks that were huge in that point in time. And Vescovy had the big putback on the pretty much a Dalton Connect prayer. Guys, try and watch your Vescovy, never quit on it, put it back in. Was a big basket late in that game. Do the little things tomorrow night. Kind of play your role in that. Rebounding, the first battle, I'm going to revisit some stats from that first battle with Tennessee and South Carolina. South Carolina beat Tennessee on not only in the scoreboard, they beat them in the rebound column too. They out-rebounded Tennessee 40-37 in that game. Now, these teams, Tennessee on the season does average more rebounds, but in this game, South Carolina had more. And just looking at that, where you had Adu had 5, Awaka had 8, Jordan James had 7, Dalton Connect had 7 as well. That's one of those. I guess the thing, there were so many missed shots that night. There were more rebounding opportunities. But, South Carolina got them in the rebound column, and they had Josh Gray, who only played 14 minutes, but pulled down 7 rebounds. Other than that, you just had guys, they had 4 more guys with at least 5 rebounds on that night. And, BJ Mack, Talon Cooper, Studi, I think I saw is how it's pronounced. 18, 16, 13, respectively. And one of their main guys recently has been Colin Murray Boyles, the freshman. He only had 4 points that night. So you got to watch out for him in this game to be a big factor the way he's been playing recently. But for Tennessee, you've got to keep Adu and you've got to keep Awaka out of foul trouble. You need somebody like a Connect, a Josiah Jordan James to be that next guy in the rebound column, kind of do their thing there. Ziegler can come in at times. He didn't do much. He didn't do much at all in this first. And I'll get to that one here in a minute. So that's key for me. It's key for every game. We need these big guys who've been good this year. Jonas Adu's had a really good year. Awaka, he's been up and down. He's capable of a lot. I really like his potential. I like what he can do, especially when he's not in foul trouble, when he can he's a big-bodied guy who can do a lot of damage down on that post. We need those two guys to bring their A game tomorrow night. I feel like when you get in conference with these guys, while for the most part they've been better than not, there's still, these games where Tennessee's lost, a lot of it's been in this area. You're going to have these guys tomorrow night. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow night. It's a style of play that gives Tennessee trouble. Tennessee does like to get up and go. South Carolina doesn't. South Carolina, last checked, averaged like the least, what was it? Least possessions of any D1 team in the country or Power 5 team in the country. They're content running it down. Another key to me, you've got to keep them about 30%, if not less. We'll say give or take, maybe even less than that 3-point range. And the first time around when they played, South Carolina shot just shy of 31% in the first half. They shot 37.5% in the second half. This is from 3-point range. 34.5% for the game, which is about right on their average. But I think, in that second half, they had more big. I know toward the end, somebody got lost, whether it was Ziegler, Vescovy, whomever, and you allowed the three from the corner that got hit that pretty much iced that game. Was big. And South Carolina, too, they're around 71% free throw shooting. Got to give them credit. They were 4 of 6 in the first half. That second half, 11 of 12. They took care of business down the stretch. 83% in that game. Tennessee needs to keep them away from the free throw line as much as possible. It's a road game, though. It's in the SEC. You never know what may happen there. Got to keep those three. Got to contest them. Okay, if they have one of those a Texas A&M night, sometimes you have to tip your cap to it. This is not a good offensive team, though, and you cannot allow them to be more than what they are. If Tennessee defense we know shows up, they defend the three well, it'll create a lot of opportunities for this team tomorrow night. Another key I'm looking at, DK be DK. South Carolina let him be that the first time. He had 31 points the first time. What's their philosophy going to be tomorrow night? I'm really curious to see that. Do they try to stop him and make others beat them? Or are they content letting him do his thing and shutting others down? You're going to have to have Road Warrior Dalton connect tomorrow night. And speaking of Road Warriors, I thought all year you had DK and ZZ as your road guys. The first time around, this is going to be my final key on the night with it, is that Zakai Ziegler the first time around, if this guy doesn't come in tomorrow night with a chip on his shoulder, I don't know who will. His first time around, 2 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 rebound, 0 of 6, 0 from field goals, 0 of 4 from 3-point, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Bad game for him. Very bad game. Defensively, Michi Johnson only had 2 points, which is, or only had 3 points. He is listed, I think it's South Carolina's leading scorer, the way I looked at it. So he did his job defensively. Offensively, that's a game to forget for him. This guy needs to come in with the chip on his shoulder. Rick Barnes has challenged him to be more vocal. I expect to see a totally different Zakai Ziegler tomorrow night. And I think Zakai Ziegler will be the difference in this game. I really do. That's where I'm going with. There are my keys. Rebounding, got to win the rebounding battle. Don't let South Carolina be more than they are on offense. Okay? If they shoot 34%, that's their average. You can live with that. Don't give them the second chance points on it. Dalton Connect, be Dalton Connect. Fifth-year seniors, be fifth-year seniors. I'm not saying Dalton Connect has to go for 30 to 40 points tomorrow night, but it has to be an effective. If something happens, maybe you turn it to him, but he's got to have help. He's going to have help tomorrow night. He got little of that in the first matchup. And finally, and possibly the biggest one, Zakai Ziegler has got to show, he's got to take it, when they mention best point guards in the nation in the Southeastern Conference. Tomorrow night's one of those games he needs to come out and prove it. Good point guard on the other side, Michi Johnson. Good guard. But Ziegler needs to show what he is and who he is tomorrow night. I still stick with my prediction from earlier. I'm going to go, I think I said 72-68. I expect a close game. I expect Tennessee to take care of business. I think I've said tomorrow night. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, uploading it on Wednesday, and I forget that sometimes. But tonight, When we go live post game, I'm expecting to be very happy about this game. I'm expecting to be celebrating an SEC championship as Alabama lost last night. I was mixed up when I did my preview and thought Alabama played tonight too. Florida beat Alabama tonight. So Tennessee wins tonight. They win the Southeastern Conference regular season. They'll go in the ACC tournament as number one seed, and they'll have a good shot at that number one seed, that fourth number one seed, March Madness. I hope you'll join me tonight, post game right after, and hey, we'll go from there. But preview video loaded last night. I hope you'll watch that. Keys to Victory loading today. If you're into baseball, recorded post game. What a fun night for Tennessee baseball last night. As always, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. My subscriber rate, or this channel subscriber, has gone up tremendously just in the last week, and I'm hoping this thing will keep rolling right now. Hope you guys keep supporting. Hope you keep rolling with me on basketball covers, because this will be the most complete basketball and baseball channel there is, period. End of story. Frank Rock, House of Orange, happy Wednesday. I hope you guys have a great day, and as always, go Vols.